Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Now, for note to Algebra 1 students who might be watching this right now, I want you guys to know that I had to muddle this in with geometry students because, well, it's going to be the same topic. However, I'm going to organize the geometry topics a little bit differently than Algebra 1. Algebra 1, I've listed the numbers of the theorems that were used for each lesson and it might be a little different. And plus, there is one topic that you might not be covering in Algebra 1. That will be the third topic. So once I talk about finding parallel and finding perpendicular functions, then you guys can go. For geometry students, on the other hand, you get to learn one more concept. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. So remember, okay, so slope is the definition of how we can identify parallel and perpendicular lines. So here's theorem 3.13. Two lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. Okay, so so if two lines are parallel, then they have the same slope. If they have the same slope, then they are parallel. There's two different parts because of the if and only if statement there. You don't know what I mean by this? Algebra 1 students? Don't worry, you'll find out about this in geometry. Okay? But anyways, let's see how this applies. I do not need an outline, but whatever. Okay, so let's put our equation setting up, and now we are going to put in y equals, let's say we have 1/2 x minus 2. Let's find the parallel line. Let's find the line that is parallel to y equals 1/2 x minus 2 and passes through the point 0, 2, 0. Alright, so if you remember one of my previous videos about that involved writing equations, you have to use the same principle in order to find that parallel line that you're missing. Okay, so we already know the slope because parallel lines have to have the same slope, which is 1/2. And now we got to plug in values. 0 equals 1/2 times 2 equals 1. We don't know b. We can simply subtract 1 and we get b to be equal to -1. And now we end up with our equation as 1/2 x minus 1. Perfect. Just perfect. Pretty simple. Why don't you try one on your own? Find the line that is parallel to y equals -3x plus 5 and passes through the point -2, 3. Alright, so take your time to do this problem. Find the line. Don't need to graph it. Just come back to me when you find the equation. Okay, so here we are. So we have y equals negative 3x plus 5. We are asked to find the line that is parallel to that line. And remember, same slope, so it has to be negative 3x. Now we plug in points. So we got 3 equals negative 3 times negative 2 equals positive 6 plus b. Subtract 6, we get negative 3 equals b. And then we end up with the equation. Y equals negative 3x minus 3. And that's the line. Got it? Hopefully, because we're moving on. Moving on. So now we're going to talk about theorem 3.14, which talks about perpendicular lines. And so we have the rule that two lines are two non-vertical lines because, well, vertical lines have an undefined slope, right? So we can't say that. So two non-vertical lines are perpendicular if and only if the product of their slopes is negative 1. So in other words, if you have a slope of 2 and you want to, if the equation's line has a slope of 2 and you want to find the equation of the line that's perpendicular to that, you need to make sure that you have to take the opposite and the reciprocal of the slope you're given. So opposite of 2 is negative 2. Reciprocal of negative 2 is negative 1/2. Okay? Alright, so here's how it works. Find the equation. Find the equation of the line. Let's just say find the line that is perpendicular to y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2 and passes through 2, negative 1. Alright, so remember the rule again, opposite reciprocal. So the opposite of negative 1/2 is positive 1/2. Reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. And now we plug in our values. Negative 1 equals 2 times 2 equals 4 plus b. Subtract 4 on both sides, you get negative 5 equals b. And then here's your final result. Y equals 2x minus 5. Looks good, doesn't it? Now your turn. Find the line that is perpendicular to y equals 3x minus 1 and passes through 4, 3. Alright, so remember opposite reciprocal. So our slope is 3, so the opposite of 3 is negative 3. Reciprocal of negative 3 is negative 1/3. Alright, so our slope of the line is negative 1/3. Plug values in, we get 3 equals negative 1/3 times 4 equals negative 4 over 3 plus b. And now we get an ugly answer for b. Well, let's see if I can add this up. 3 plus 4/3, it's 9/3 plus 4/3, 13/3. Looks about right. And now here's our final line. We have negative 1/3 x plus 13 over 3. Alright, so that's how we write equations for parallel and perpendicular lines. Alright, so if you're Algebra 1 students, your time is up. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you really liked the video. Please come back and check it later. Alright, talk to you soon. See you in the next lesson. Bye! And for those who are stuck around, that will be my geometry students, we're going to be talking about one more concept. So, let's try figuring this one out. Find the distance between 2, 1 and the line y equals 3x minus 4. Alright, so remember that the shortest distance between a point and a line is that distance represented by a line that is perpendicular to your line that is given to you. So, in order to find that line, we need to figure out no.